Alright, what's going on, everybody? So Phil Spencer has pretty much said in a statement that he admits the Kinect has had its shortcomings and it's really not that necessary or useful. I would add that it's also definitely not that necessary considering the price tag of it. But here's his statement. The teams continue to look at ways that Kinect makes the entertainment experience better. I'd say the area that hasn't really landed, and I don't know if it will. Is Kinect integral to all of these core gaming scenarios on our console in terms of minute-to-minute gameplay? There are genres where Kinect works really well, but if you're playing Halo or Call of Duty, there's not really a scenario that says, hey, I need a Kinect. There's not that scenario in, I would say, 95% of games that are released, probably higher. Kinect really doesn't make use, or these games don't really make use of Kinect at all. There's very few games that do that, and even then, it's still not worth having a Kinect for. You know, it doesn't really improve the experience. And I mean, this is obviously not news to us. This is something that us of gamers have been stating really since the Kinect came out. But to finally kind of hear an exec say it, especially, you know, Phil Spencer, who's a realist, you know, he's very truthful and real and honest. But you had a lot of Microsoft execs, especially in the initial stages of the Xbox One's release, when they were trying to promote the Kinect, which is what they're supposed to do, you know, propose it as this thing you're going to need with your Xbox, and it's going to improve the experience of games. That's part of your job, right? You're not supposed to say, oh, you really don't need it. That's part of their job. But it went from that Kinect is absolutely needed with the Xbox and will never be sold without one, to, you know, being sold separately, and now execs are stating, yeah, it's really not that necessary, and we really haven't found any absolute integral use for it in our games, whether it's first party or third party. I would actually go as far as to saying that Kinect 2.0 is actually less useful than the first Kinect, because I believe the first Kinect had more software behind it. They actually made more games from the ground up designed for the original Kinect on the 360. This one, not really so much, and that might be because the Kinect 1.0 was released after the actual Xbox 360, so they made it a priority to have the software to back it. This Kinect was released with the Xbox One just as a simple peripheral camera, really. You know, it was more of a camera than something that you needed software to support. So, you know, that's kind of what happens. But I can't see the Kinect really gaining any ground, or in the future becoming more needed or useful. If anything, I think it'll become even less useful and less necessary. You know, I doubt they're really going to create any software to support it. And, you know, it's really the same thing as the PlayStation camera. There's not any software to support the PlayStation camera, but they promoted it as a PlayStation camera. You know, that's the difference between the Kinect and the camera. Microsoft initially promoted it as this thing, as this peripheral that is a essential part of the Xbox One experience, and it even used up, they even dedicated part of the resources that the Xbox GPU used, I believe 10% to it, and everything like that. So it was like this huge important part of the Xbox One. You know, Sony pretty much promoted the PlayStation camera as exactly that, just a camera. You don't need it. You don't even hear Sony talk about the PlayStation camera anymore. Like, nobody really cares about it. It's sold well. It probably still sells. People probably still buy it, probably for more live streaming reasons than anything else. But it's not needed. You don't hear anybody talking about it, or Sony, you never heard Sony promote it as something that was absolutely needed. So that was the only real difference, you know, how they were promoted and spoke about. So let me know what y'all think about this. I'm out of here. Peace. And by the way, the game you see playing in the background will probably be Red Faction Guerrilla, one of the most underrated games of last generation, one of my favorite games of last generation. It's an amazing game, very underrated, one of my favorites from last generation. So yeah, I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.